What's going on YouTube? Just right here. So in today's video we're going to quickly recap the Apple event and what new devices they released, the features, and of course what these means for the jailbreak community. So I'm going to start with the iPhones. Now this has been a very long event, an hour and a half or something, and not all that they said in there is actually important. So if you want to watch the keynote, I will definitely link it in the description down below, but this is going to be a very quick recap of what I consider to be important. For example, the new iPhones, their specifications, the new iPad and its specifications, and of course the new Apple Watch and its specifications. The other things are not exactly that important, you know, the Apple Arcade and tvOS Plus and so on. So I'm going to skip those, but of course you can watch them in the keynote. I'm going to start with the main attraction, the iPhone 11. Now there are going to be three different iPhone 11 devices: the iPhone 11 base model, the iPhone 11 Pro, and the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Now of course the iPhone 11 will be the cheapest one, and it's actually surprisingly cheap this year. The base model iPhone 11 will start at $700, US dollars, which is actually quite cheap compared to last year. And this actually has a lot of features in here, but if you take a look, there are new colors available. Yes, they have this green in here, they have a purple, and they have a yellow. And then of course you have the normal, white and black and product red. But yeah, there are new colors available. This in here is actually glass on the back, and the base iPhone 11 model has two cameras in here, and the Pro one has a third one in here, which is actually quite nice. Now if you go ahead in here, they tell you about all the features and stuff. They actually made it very clear that there are new camera improvements and whatever. So yeah, they kind of focused a lot on camera improvements on the event, because I watched the full event, and it was kind of boring at some point because they were really boasting this new camera and stuff like that, but it's really just the iPhone XS Max with a better camera, some new colors, and a couple of new features. There's also a new CPU, we're going to talk about that. But yeah, it basically has a lot of improvements to the camera. On the base iPhone 11 model, there are two 12 megapixel cameras. One of them is wide and the other one is ultra wide, and they're actually making quite good photos. They displayed a couple of pictures made with these devices in here, or allegedly made with these devices, and the pictures were actually incredible. They look quite good. So yeah, definitely. They also said that the video is actually better, and yes, this device is filmed in 4K, and they have better stabilization, they have, better video features and all that jazz. So definitely very important and very nice for those of you who are interested in the photo or video aspect of it, because this is basically what it seems to be with the new iPhone 11 and iPhone 11 Pro. It's been more of a camera related upgrade, though the CPU is actually newer as well, and it has more features. Now speaking of cameras, the front-facing camera is also improved. It can now take slow motion selfies, has a wide angle and stuff like that, so it's also 12 megapixels from what I can remember, so definitely nice, and it's definitely stunning for the photos. Now they also improved a lot the low light condition photos on the iPhone 11 and 11 Pro, so yeah, again, camera related. But these devices, the iPhone 11 and the iPhone 11 Pro, also have a new CPU, and that CPU, if you go ahead and here on the tech specs, is basically the A13. So yes, yet another CPU in the community, the A13, which is the third generation neural engine chip from Apple, the A13 Bionic chip. So yeah, they say that this one is actually consuming even less power, it's actually even faster. They claim that this is actually the fastest CPU on a smartphone ever for the moment, and the fastest GPU, because the GPU is part of it as well, and they claim that it's the fastest GPU on a device. Now, in terms of camera, as I said, it's 12 megapixels overall, and the iPhone 11 Pro model has three cameras, the ultra-wide one, the wide one, and a telephoto one. So, definitely interesting, as I said, but it's been more of a camera-related upgrade than anything else. The new CPU is, of course, very fast. They said that the battery actually lasts longer this time on the iPhone 11. So, on the iPhone 11, the base model, it lasts 1 more hour compared to the iPhone XR, and on the iPhone 11 Pro, it's actually even more compared to the iPhone XS and XS Max, up to 4 more hours of battery life compared to the previous model. So yeah, definitely interesting in there, some improvements as well. There is fast charging, so definitely interesting, and it will come with iOS 13, and it will be available on September 20. So yeah, definitely interesting. And for the pricing, well, as I said, the base model starts at $700, which is actually cheaper, and yeah, of course, if you want more features and whatever, you want bigger storage and so on, it would be a different price. And the Pro model models start at $1,000 for the normal Pro model and $1,100 for the iPhone 11 Pro Max. So yeah, that's that. There's also a new iPad available, but there's no Pro iPad this year, and it's only this one here, which has a larger screen. It's a 10.2-inch Retina display new iPad, which also supports the smart keyboard. You know, it has the smart dock connector, whatever. And this one is actually a bit of an odd thing, because if you take a look in here on the specifications, there are no new colors. There is the silver, space gray, and gold. And then of course you have the chip, which is actually an A10. Yes, the A10 Fusion chip from back on the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus, actually 3 generations behind. Well, of course, this is actually cheaper. This iPad starts at $320, so very cheap and affordable for somebody who wants to get into the iPad. As you can see here, you can select the color, and it says that it starts at $329 for the base 32 gigs model. So yeah, an actual cheaper model of the iPad. It looks good, it has a bigger screen, and it has a relatively fast CPU as well, the CPU from the iPhone 7 Plus. So yeah, definitely interesting, but nothing particularly special with this iPad. There's no new Pro model, and there are no new sizes either. This one will support iPadOS 13, and it will be released on September 30. And for the Apple Watch, well, there is the Series 5, which will be released, and it's this one in here. There are new bands available in new colors, there are new Nike bands, and so on. And the main feature of this device, well, they talked a lot about this in the event, but the main feature of this particular watch is actually that it has an always-on display. So the display actually dims instead of turning off completely when you're no longer watching it, and it stays on. And it's apparently very power efficient as well, so you shouldn't be worried about, you know, the battery life and stuff like that. But other than that, the cellular model supports emergency calling now, and there are other features as well. There is a compass built in, and those are some of the main features of it. But yeah, this is basically the main attraction, the screen, which is basically an always-on display. There will be a cellular model and one without cellular, and of course the cellular model is actually more expensive. And if you take a look in here on the prices, you can see that it starts from $399, and definitely a little bit less expensive overall this year. The iPad has a good price, though the chip inside it is a little bit outdated. It can be jailbroken though, there are no security hurdles we have to bypass. Once iOS 13 gets a public TFP0 exploit, this iPad can be jailbroken right away. It has a normal A10 chip, the one from the iPhone 7, so no A12 shenanigans and no A13 shenanigans like on the iPhone 11. The iPhone 11 has a new A13 chip. We do not know which architecture for the moment, whether it has new memory tagging and so on. I will keep you updated on that, but it's possible that that device will be harder to jailbreak. So yeah, that's basically what they announced. To recap, the iPhone 11 will be available in 3 models, the iPhone 11, the iPhone 11 Pro, and the iPhone 11 Pro Max. There is only one new model of iPad. It has a bigger screen. It's actually supporting the smart connector for the keyboard. And of course, there is a new Apple Watch, which is available in either cellular or non-cellular, GPS, whatever, with an always-on display. Now, there are many other features and improvements that they had, but I do not consider those to be major. And if you want to find those out, definitely check out the keynote in the description down below. It's an hour and a half or something like that, and it presents the whole thing. There's also updates to the Apple Arcade and the tvOS Plus and stuff like that, but as I said, that's for another video. Thank you for watching. I am GeoSnow, and till the next time, peace out.